Hey everybody. So lately I've been hearing some people saying they aren't going to vote in the upcoming election in November or they're going to vote for Donald. And this is what I have to say to this real briefly. If you grew up in the United States, you have a privilege. Okay, everything is not perfect here. I've always been the first person to say that, even when everybody else thought I was crazy. This country has a lot of work to do. But you've had the privilege of growing up or being in a country where, when it's time for the new president to take over, there is a peaceful transition of power. It's smooth. Other countries have always looked at the United States for an example of what it looks like to have a peaceful and fair election. They don't have that in every country. There are some countries where if it's time to transition power, the person just doesn't leave, even if there's an election, like Putin in Russia, right? Or maybe there is an election and the results comes through and it's legit and the guy or woman doesn't want to leave, and so there has to be a coup to transition power. Like, we've never had to live through things like this. Except for the last transition of power, what happened on January 6th. Unless you want to see more of things like that, vote Kamala. Is Kamala a perfect candidate? No. Show me one that is. I like Kamala. I think she's done a lot for our country, but that's not the point of this video. They're basically up there playing cleanup crew after the S show that was the last presidency before Biden, but that's another video. My second point is, if you've grown up in the United States, you've never had to deal with war on our land. You've never had to wake up and think, is my roof still there? Did a bomb blast blow up something and now I don't have clean water, electricity? We've always lived very comfortably in terms of not having war right here on our home turf, not having to live through things like widespread famine, things that come when you have a dictatorship. Someone in power like Donald, he is an authoritarian. Yes, he is a dictator. He's trying to be. That's why he idolizes people like North Korean dictators, Putin, and all those type of people like that. And then he'll speak very lowly of our allies. Guys, that's not normal. That's a red flag, okay? Get out there. If you do nothing else, if you don't vote in any other, I encourage voting, but I'll say, if you don't vote in any other election, this one's very important. I believe that if Donald gets in, it's going to be a show. For real. You know why? Because it's his last term in office. And I compare it to how kids used to be on the last day of school in high school. If you were a senior on the last day of school, I don't know about y'all's school, but in my school, they cut up because they know they're not coming back. There are no consequences. So what are they doing? They're throwing eggs, egging the school or whatever, doing pranks. That's nothing compared to how it's going to be if Donald gets in office come this November. It's going to be an S show, okay? I've always said, too, for people that say voting doesn't count or your vote doesn't count here in the United States, if that's true, why have so many groups throughout time tried to stop? Now, I won't say so many groups. Why did the government itself and some groups try to suppress voting so much if it doesn't count? They're still doing that. If you're in the state of Georgia, especially where I am, please check your voter registration. Go to the Secretary of State or website. They have other websites that are reputable where you can go and make sure you're still valid, because they are trying to purge voters as we speak. Yes, there's a lot of voter suppression. That should tell you that your vote counts. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't have tried to take it away so hard throughout history. Little quick history refresher. In the beginning of this country, when voting first started, only rich, male, white landowners could vote. Wealthy white male landowners. Women couldn't vote. Black people couldn't vote. We were slaves. And lots of groups, poor white men couldn't vote. Y'all wasn't in it either. And that's most people in America now. Average folk, whatever your ethnicity or gender. That's why I try to get people to understand. Wealth is the great divider. Not race, not gender, not sexual orientation and all that. They try to distract you with all that. We're all more alike than you think. And I think we all want our freedom. So go out there and vote. Please, this is very important. I don't want to make this long. Go out there and vote. I'm going to be making more political videos on my channel. I'm going to be saying a lot about it and other videos as well. But for right now, I'll just say go out there and vote, folks. For real. I'm going to be doing political reactions and commentary because I've always been very interested in politics and social issues. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. But if you don't do anything else this year, go vote. Go vote Kamala. Go vote. I encourage you to. Okay? Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.